Of course, brother. I could beat him with his coach. What is his name?
It's a house champion allowed Pereira coach me know that.
His name. It was
Det var 3 champion.
Teixeira. Yes. With Teixeira together, brother. I will beat them both sometimes. How old are the Matic boys, bro? I got how Matic go. So that I will how old, Brad. Oh, it must be okay. Vegas here with it.
Khamzat Chimaev just made one of the wildest claims we've heard in MMA for quite some time, saying that he could beat Alex Pereira and Glover Teixeira, his coach, on the same night. Fresh off of Pereira's knockout win over Magomed Ankalaev, Khamzat is firing like shots, guys. He's firing shots at the light heavyweight champion and his legendary coach, claiming he's ready to smash both if the UFC lets it happen. Of course, it's not going to happen. But in this video, I'm going to break down what's really going on here and why Khamzat comments, I guess, matter and why he seems to be a little bit pissed right now. So what could this mean? Pereira versus Chimaev showdown. And what could this mean for the UFC, actually? So this is going to be really interesting, guys. I'm actually, when I first heard about this, I was like, what? I mean, what are these guys on about here? And it was just crazy, right? I mean, yeah, like for Khamzat to be calling out Alex Pereira and his coach and saying that he wants to take on both of them at the same time. I mean, this is absolutely uncanny, right? But I mean, hey, this is the MMA. This is the world of, world of MMA, the world of combat sports. I mean, we talk boxing here. We talk UFC, MMA. And honestly, it's just the storylines that are coming out now are just absolutely wow. Like, I mean, these are the kind of storylines that if we were talking about this, like, say, like, 10, 15 years ago, people would be like, what are you smoking? Like, seriously, like, what kind of nonsense? We honestly, it almost feel like as if this channel would be the equivalent of like an MMA Inquirer or something along those lines, right? But anyways, or anyhow, this is the kind of stuff that's actually trending. Legit, it's trending. So anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. Here we cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, boxing, and the WWE. So if you're a fight fan, if you like the drama and the chaos and all the real talk that follows, then definitely stick around, because here I'm going to break down all of these crazy call-outs and all of this nonsense, or what we think is nonsense, and I'm going to try to help disseminate this to a way that kind of makes some kind of sense, if that makes sense. Anyhow, so look, here's what's going down. Khamzat Chimaev, undefeated Khamzat Chimaev, is the king of the UFC right now, undefeated, confident, and never shy with the mic. All right? He decided that he's going to throw down a massive challenge after Alex Pereira's insane knockout over Magomed Ankalaev that honestly shocked the world, right? So Khamzat, he went on social media and he said, somebody asked him, could you, like something along the lines like, could you take on Alex Pereira and this and that? He said, of course, brother, I could beat him and his coach, Glover Teixeira, together. I'll beat them both at the same time. And this wasn't just trolling, guys. Like, Khamzat was, he's been pretty local and vocal about wanting Pereira and wanting to fight Pereira for many months now. So this is not like something out of the blue. This is not like him trying to FOMO into some headlines and some success here. He's actually been trying to call out Pereira for quite some time. So he's been pretty consistent with that. We have to give him that, right? So he's been saying that Pereira's style is perfect for him and the way he fights. No fancy movement, no deep wrestling, defense, just pretty much stand-up power, right? Strikers, throwing bombs at one another. And Khamzat believes his grappling would technically overwhelm the champion. So this is interesting. Now, here's the wild part. Okay. If there wasn't already a wild part, this is what's wild, okay? Look, he's been linked to several potential, Khamzat's been linked to several potential matchups lately, including a rumor title defense against Nasiruddin Imamov. And this is interesting, guys, because, a lot of people talking about Nasiruddin, as a potential really good candidate to take on Khamzat. But this call out of Alex Pereira, I mean, it's clearly designed to get attention, and it's working. Remember, Chimaev's whole brand is built on pure, unadulterated chaos. He talks big, he fights even bigger, and fans eat every single thing that comes out of Khamzat up like that, right? When Khamzat talks big, he backs it up. He backs it up big time, all the time. So whether you love him, you hate him, he's one of the few guys who can actually shake up the multiple divisions just by opening up his mouth. That's all Khamzat has to do. And look, he's not the only guy. There's a lot of UFC fighters that love to talk. And the question, though, comes down to is a lot of those guys that like to talk, sometimes they're not really consistent in the way they back it up. Unlike Khamzat, though, when Khamzat talks, he backs it up. All right? So let's be real. The UFC loves this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that sells. This is the stuff that generates headlines. And the stuff that generates headlines on social media is creating a lot of hype. And this, in turn, will actually start to switch on the marketing gears to a whole different level, to the point where something could be drumming up in the background. And this is exactly the kind of rhetoric that the UFC needs for something like this to actually potentially go down as a booked fight. Will it happen? I don't know. I mean, are the fans going to hype it up enough for Dana White to actually think about this fight and what that could mean for like pay-per-view numbers? I mean, it's really hard to ascertain that, but I think there's a strong chance that it could happen. I mean, if you ask me my honest opinion, I think Khamzat knows exactly what he's doing. He's very tactful, he's very smart, and he's not just calling up Pereira. He's positioning himself for some bigger fights, possibly lining up here for him. I mean, this is just pure marketing genius, guys. No matter how you look at it, you keep stirring the pot. Keep your name trending out there, reminding everyone of your greatness, reminding everyone of what you did and who you are, so that you're constantly in people's discussions. But also, this is where it becomes interesting. If Khamzat can actually make it to 205 and fight Pereira, that's going to be an insane matchup, guys. Everybody knows this will be the talk of the town, right? This is what's going to generate most of the headlines in the world of MMA and combat sports. Pereira's striking ability is definitely next level, okay? I'm not going to say it's on another planet, but it's definitely next level. The way he dismantled Ankalaev was absolutely insane. But Khamzat's wrestling could pose as a nightmare for somebody like Pereira. He's relentless. He is pure relentless. He comes right out of the gate strong, and he finishes strong. That's the thing with Khamzat, right? And now Alex showed he could do exactly the same in his last fight, but the consistency, this is what we're talking about. Will he be consistent in that same kind of manner the next time around? Right? I mean, if Khamzat takes Pereira down, it's game over. It's game over. It's gonna be Pereira's worst nightmare. Right? So the question is, can he survive? And if he can survive the first few minutes standing, then, I mean, this is where we see Pereira, like guys like Pereira being able to slip in that one shot, that beautiful right hook, or a jab followed up with like a combo or a hook, and that's it. He could put people to sleep. But can he put somebody like Khamzat to sleep? I mean, guys, there's so many unknowns here, right? But there's so many what-ifs that could potentially happen. So, like, if you play the what-if game, if Khamzat really did fight Pereira and somehow dominated him, that instantly changes the entire landscape as we know it. The fact that Khamzat dismantled Ankalaev in like the first round, that shook up the entire division, the entire light heavyweight division, and it also sent a warning message to the heavyweight division as well too, because there's a lot of heavyweight fighters realizing that there's a strong chance that Pereira may want to move up to heavyweight, because he's also been flirting with that for many, many months. And so he's shaken up the landscape. This win that he had against Ankalaev just shook up the UFC landscape. Now we could have, and then when Khamzat beat Duplessis, and he did it in such grand fashion, he shook up the whole division as well, and he shook up the UFC as well. So if both of these guys are on a collision course to meet one another, holy schmoly, this is going to be insane, right? And I mean, look, if Khamzat can pull this off, he'd be a legit two-way, threat, and could set up for one of the biggest UFC rivalries that we know of, right? That's for sure. On the flip side, if Pereira is able to catch Khamzat with a wild hook, knock him down to the canvas, I mean, that in itself is a whole different conversation, right? Can you imagine what do you call it? The tweets that come out of Nate Diaz's social media. He's like, oh yeah, he's finished. He needs to rehab in Chechnya. Nate Diaz and all them. There's no love lost for Khamzat. They're just itching for Khamzat to make a wrong move. They've been going at it, trolling each other on social media for so long. Anyways, classic Khamzat. He's such a weapon. He's a walking weapon, guys. He's ruthless. He's unfiltered. And the great thing about Khamzat, and you can't ignore, is that he's 100% confident, no matter what happens. And that's unbelievable in itself. For me, I love this kind of energy. This is why people love Khamzat. This is why they love Chimaev so much, because you just never know what he's going to say next. Almost kind of like Sean Strickland. He's just so unfiltered. He's so raw, and he has these random, like idioms and sayings and things that just, that's Chimaev, man. I mean, he's just pure walking chaos. If he was a Fantastic Four, I think he would be the torch, the human torch. He's just constantly, everywhere he goes, he's just lighting fires, I guess, I mean, a lot of hype. I mean, it's great for the sport, but I mean, at the same time, if he really wants Pereira, he better be ready, because this is not going to be just a brawl. This is going to be a battle of two different worlds colliding head on. It's going to be absolutely insane, guys. Now, I got to ask you guys, like, who wins this fight? If this fight goes down, is Khamzat going to smash Pereira like he says, or does Pereira add another brutal KO to his resume? Drop your thoughts and comments below, guys. I'm going to be reading through the quotes, and I'll probably pick a few, and we'll probably talk about it. But I mean, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you never miss a beat. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk, more training breakdowns, and everything in combat sports. It's beautiful, guys. I'm Shiraz. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next one.